Matt, back to you. The two polls out this morning. We've got a poll every Monday, and you're on the receiving end of it. But two polls out this morning show a considerable gap between you and the coalition. But it includes the RBA rate cut from last week. So if that doesn't help you, how much strife are you in?
Cost of living's been the dominant issue, Pete. There's no doubt about that, and we're heading in the right direction. The rate cut next week,
but this shows you're not, according to the polls.
The rate cut last week will help, and I believe that yesterday's announcement on Medicare is a game changer. It will shift the dial because it means that we've responded to what Australians want in terms of their healthcare, and we're restoring Medicare. And we ended up in this mess because the coalition government cut the GP rebate. They froze it for 7 years. It meant that
after the Gillard government froze it.
Yeah, didn't that start under a previous government, Matt?
It did, under the Gillard government. They conveniently forget that.
GPs couldn't afford it, so they started charging co-payments. So they exploded under the former coalition government. We're restoring Medicare. And I point to the fact that we introduced the incentive for children and for pensioners. Now, the coalition could have done that when they were in government. They didn't. We've done it.
But it's
resulted in those populations now being bulk billed. Now we're going to extend it to the rest of the country.
Just because you brought that up, though, I mean, you can't deny the fact that bulk billing rates declined under your watch.
Yeah, but that's because the former coalition government cut support for Medicare. Is it any wonder we've had a fall?
They went up
in
under
some
us.
of those services because they were cut by the former coalition government, and we're restoring support for Medicare. You guys could have restored bulk billing.
You've been the government for nearly
seniors
3 years.
and for children. You didn't. You had all the time that you're in government to restore bulk billing for GP visits.
Okay.
You didn't. We're doing it, and now
this is just an example of why Australians stop listening to these guys.
Let me just jump in here.
You're copying it.
Let me just jump in because, folks, this is going to be the argument and the counter arguments for the next few weeks until this election called. So you made that point, Matt, to my question, but I mean, his question to you, Hollie, is going to be, and this will come from other members of Labor too, that could you have done something?
Well, they've been the government for the past 3 years.
But
what have they been doing? Well, the GP rebate freeze was actually initiated under the Gillard government, and you notice that the Labor members never, ever mentioned that. But I noticed Matt did everything he could to deflect away from your question regarding today's poll results. So obviously the talking points are only covering their Mediscare campaign that they plan to launch against Peter Dutton. I mean, I hope that Albanese keeps going as long as possible to the election, because we see that the poll numbers are consistently heading in one direction, because Australians just don't believe this government. They think Albanese is a weak leader, that he went to the election promising cheaper mortgages, cheaper groceries, cheaper cost of living, cheaper energy, $275 off your power bill, of which he's not only not delivered any of those things, they've seen them increase exponentially, which is why cost of living is the greatest issue for every Australian in the country at the moment.
All right, Matt, Hollie, we're out of time. But thank you for your time as always. We'll catch you again next week.